Back at the old Yharnam lamp, you'll find a set of doors with a message scrawled across them warning that hunters are not welcome inside. Naturally, the next course of action is to ignore the warning and proceed through these doors.
You there? Hunter! Didn't you see the warning? Turn back at once. Old Yharnam, burned and abandoned by men, is now home only to beasts. They are of no harm. Turn back, or the hunter will face the hunt.
The man speaking to us is Dura, a member of a specialized hunter group known as the Powder Kegs. If you proceed ahead, Dura will begin firing at you with a mounted turret. This can make completing the stage difficult, as you often have enemies to deal with while the old hunter fires a stream of bullets at you. But I'll show you an easy way to avoid this entire section. For now, go across this bridge and encounter the two new enemy types which populate most of old Yharnam. These wolfmen are afraid of fire and can be deterred somewhat by switching your gun for the torch we picked up in central Yharnam. Those with the shroud, however, have cloth covering their eyes and won't be affected by the torch. Their attacks also inflict slow poison buildup, so try not to let them combo you. If you do get poisoned, there's always the antidotes we picked up in the last video. Down these stairs, you enter the range of Dura's gun, but rather than heading down the stairs on the right, drop off this ledge at the right corner. This will let you skip nearly this entire section, and if you land on this small roof on your way down, the fall damage you receive will be minuscule. The rest of the stage lies ahead, but if you drop off yet again, on the right of where you fell, you'll gain entrance to an additional room with a new weapon and armor set. Clear out this horde of beasts and climb the stairs to find the rifle spear and the charred hunter set. Upon leaving this building, you'll be back in the range of Dura's weapon, so move quickly. Avoiding the hostile hunter on your left, run down this wooden walkway and into the building ahead. On your right, you'll find another shrouded wolfman who will call all of the enemies on the floor below. I actually find it's easier to let this happen and deal with them as they arrive, rather than all at once on the next floor. But make sure you're holding the torch in your other hand, as it makes a huge difference here. Down the stairs, you'll find a beast hanging from the chandelier which has been drained of its blood, and looks all too similar to the boss of this area. You can also pick up ritual blood on the altar here, an item used in chalice dungeons. Moving on, take a right and proceed up the ladder straight ahead to unlock a metal door that opens up onto the wooden walkway from earlier. This is the first shortcut in old Yharnam. Back down the ladder and to the left, there lies a small room with several wolfmen and a scurrying beast hiding behind the far column. In the next room, there are two lycanthropes, and there's no way to cheese them this time. But if you wait at the entrance, they tend to break into separate patrol paths, allowing you to sneak by the first one and deal with the second 1v1. After both wolves are slain, you can press onward into the deepest part of the city. On the left, another lycanthrope clings to the wall of a building, preparing to drop down an ambush. Trigger this and take it out to pick up 6 beast blood pellets, items that buff damage dealt and combo attacks. Back on the main street, anticipate an ambush from the lycanthrope hiding in the house on the right. You may not appreciate this cheap scare, but through the door it busted you'll find an antidote and spiral stairs leading to fire paper, exceptionally useful for the blood-starved beast at the end of this section. On your way back down, make sure you don't miss this door, as it leads to a ladder that will return you to the old Yharnam lamp. You can drop down these rooftops to return to the depths of the city, but make sure you stop by this brick landing and kill the 2 shrouded wolfmen. They guard the hunter's torch, which essentially replaces the torch from central Yharnam. It deals more fire damage, has better scaling, and can be fortified like other weapons. Back on the lower street, step through the smoke and take out this larger wolfman behind it. Then walk back around and prepare for the lycanthrope around the corner. It's also worth mentioning that they now inflict slow poison buildup with their attacks as well, something to keep in mind while fighting them here. Up the ramp and to the right, you can pick up 2 bold hunter's marks and deal with the scurrying beast on the stairs leading down. This leaves nothing but the boss of Old Yharnam, the blood-starved beast. It inflicts slow poison with its attacks, as well as in an AoE cloud. If you don't have antidotes equipped by this point, you should do so now. Blood-starved beast has a weakness to fire, so you can equip any fire paper or Molotov cocktails you may have for the upcoming fight. A lot of people, including myself, have had trouble with this boss, so you should know that Alfred can be summoned just before the boss room as an ally if you use the beckoning bell. Dealing with the blood-starved beast is difficult to put into words, but most of his attacks can be avoided by dodging to the left of him. If he ever opens his claw or stands on his hind legs, you can anticipate an attack and potentially dodge through it. He's fairly small for a boss, so locking on can be effective. But he moves so quickly with his attacks, the lock-on system seems to have trouble keeping up with him. You'll probably have to lock back on manually several times if you intend to do the fight in this manner. The beast himself has 3 phases, which are indicated by his roars. In the first stage, he is less aggressive and doesn't dodge as often. In the second stage, he attacks more often and moves more quickly. And in the last stage, he gains the ability to spew clouds of slow poison, and even being near his body causes poison buildup. One of the most important things to realize for the final phase is that you need to remember where in the room he spewed the poison cloud. Even after the visual effect dissipates, you can still get poisoned by stepping near the area, so essentially that section of the boss room becomes off limits. Lastly, you don't have to wait until you're poisoned to use an antidote. I find them to be more effective when used just before the bar becomes full, as it will set the build-up back at 0 without you getting the status in the first place. I hope this helped you take the beast down, and I hope to see you in the next video, where we return to explore the last half of Cathedral Ward.